Hey guys, Stay Patient here, back with some more Alienation tips, and in this video we're going to be discussing 3 steps you can take to increase the drop rate for legendary weapons and equipment. Now, the colour scheme will be very familiar to most of you. White is the lowest level of rarity, then we go up to green, blue, and then we have purple items referred to as rare, and the orange items are the legendary gear. Now, if you take a look at these 2 weapons here, they are both energy guns and they are both level 23. Neither one of them has any cores socketed into the slots there in the upgrade tree. So they are basically the same gun, but different tiers. The orange is obviously legendary, the purple is rare. And if you look at the damage numbers there, you'll see how important it is to try and get hold of the orange weapons. This purple one does 20,000 damage per second, whereas the legendary does 45,000, so it's more than twice as powerful. Now, this one isn't actually a great legendary gun. If we compare it to the one above, which we have socketed with some cores, you'll notice here that this has a larger upgrade tree, so it's a better gun all round. It probably started with a slightly higher DPS, but because of all the cores we've put into it, we've got the DPS up to 176,000, which is massively higher than both of these weapons. So you can see how powerful these legendary guns can be if you get a good roll on them, and also if you re-roll some of the stats and socket cores into the slots there, you can get these guns up to tremendously powerful numbers. Now, we're going to talk through 3 ways you can increase your drop rate for these legendary guns. First of all, you can change the difficulty of the mission you're playing. So if we click on here and start a new mission, the rookie there doesn't have any modifiers if you look on the right in that box, but if we go up to professional, it increases the legendary drop rate by 11% and the rare drop rate by 9%. It also drops the common and stock items down a little bit, so we don't get quite as many of those. Now, the veteran difficulty increases it even more. So we have 24% extra to our legendary drop rate, and the rare is 19%. So if you increase the difficulty of the mission, if you think you can handle it, you'll be able to receive more of these higher rarity items. The second thing you can do is when you're in the mission and you bring up your map, you'll notice the respawn beacons kind of marked all around the area, and you can trigger these to give yourself a new respawn location. But if you destroy these respawn beacons, each one increases your legendary drop rate slightly. I'm not sure of the exact figures because it doesn't tell you, but it does explain that you've received a buff when you do destroy the beacon, and it will say the first beacon you destroy will say level 1 of the buff. I forget the exact name, but it's loot something or other. And it will say level 1, and then if you destroy a second one, it will go up to level 2. So the more beacons you destroy in each mission, the more you will increase your legendary drop rate. You might be thinking just to yourself that you don't want to destroy the beacons because you need somewhere to respawn, but you need to remember that you will always respawn at the beginning of the mission, but you won't lose any progress. So let's say you complete the first 2 objectives of a mission, and then you all die. You will be returned to the original spawn point, but those 2 objectives that you'd already completed will still be complete. You won't need to redo them. So it's not like you're starting the mission over again. All it means is that you may have to fight your way back through some enemies to reach the location that you are heading for next. So it's totally worth destroying all of the beacons you come across, and the earlier in the mission that you are able to destroy them, then the longer the buff will be active and the more effect it will have, because you'll be killing lots of enemies after destroying those beacons, and you'll have the chance of all those lovely drops. Now, the third thing that happens naturally is that when you complete the 10th and the 20th mission in the game, you will get a notification that the enemy levels have been increased, the XP you earn have been increased, and also the drop rate for the higher tier items has been increased as well. So when you keep playing through the game, completing certain missions and also completing the final mission, which is the 20th, then you'll be increasing the drop rate. And the reason they do that is because, of course, with the enemy levels rising as well, it makes the game harder every time you complete it. So they reward you with higher level items so that you have those more powerful weapons to be able to fight against those higher level enemies that are spawning now that you've finished the game. So if you go to your upgrade screen and the status tab, you'll see what version of the world you're on. I'm on world level 2, which means that I completed the game once and this is my second playthrough. And as it says there, the enemy level has been increased by 3 because of where I've reached in the game. Now, because the enemy level has been increased by 3, that means that my legendary drop rate and the amount of XP I earn have also been buffed and boosted up. So the more times you complete the game, the harder it's going to be, but the more legendary items you're going to receive and the more chance you're going to have of being able to keep going further. So if you're thinking to yourself that you want to sort of keep repeating the same mission that you know really well and you can finish quickly and hoping that you're going to get legendary items dropped, it's much more efficient to keep playing through the game, trying to complete it, and then complete it as many times as you can so that you can increase the rate at which these items do drop for you. So those are the 3 things you can do, guys. Keep playing through the game, complete it as many times as you can, and it increases the drop rate every time you do. The second thing is to destroy the beacons in each mission if you can. Destroy as many as you can without dying, because when you do die, you lose that buff. So when you come across a beacon, just blow it up rather than activating it. And the third thing, of course, is by changing the difficulty of the missions you're playing. If you increase the difficulty, you increase the chance of getting legendary drops. So I hope that's been helpful, guys. I hope that can facilitate you sort of building up a more impressive collection of weapons over your time spent with this game. In the meantime, go and check out all the rest of my content. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you all soon.